Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for this session in the Apprenticeships. My name is Sean Murphy, and I work for the Enterprise and Employment team at the college. My role is to kind of link the students and the candidates interested in apprenticeships in for the employers as well. So in today's session, we're going to cover what are apprenticeships, is an apprenticeship for you, we're going to discuss the apprenticeship levels, we're going to talk about the apprenticeship offer at the college, we're going to talk a bit about the employer, we're also going to discuss the pay, we're going to cover recruitment and the application process, at which point I'll introduce you to the apprenticeship team and the key contacts in that department. Then I'm going to read a couple of testimonies for you so you get a feel for a life of an apprentice. Then we're going to discuss some next steps and also include some useful links to help you begin your search. Then finally, we'll have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions for us, please, if you could put them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end. So what is an apprenticeship? An apprenticeship is a real job with real training, meaning you can earn while you learn. During the apprenticeship, you'll gain a wide range of skills and professional competencies in your chosen career. Apprentices work full-time whilst also studying with the college. And this time is split so that you spend 80% on the job training with 20% spent on college training. Apprenticeships can be a minimum of 1 year and 6 days, but can actually last longer. The duration of each apprenticeship varies from each apprenticeship. All apprenticeships are either funded by the government or the employer, so you don't ever have to worry about paying for any tuition fees. I do like to include that apprenticeships aren't easier than being a full-time student and requires a lot of hard work and dedication and commitment to the program. So why choose an apprenticeship? Well, first of all, you earn while you learn, and the training is free, as I covered earlier. Apprenticeships look at the skills, behaviours and knowledge that employers are looking for. But undertaking an apprenticeship, you're already in an industry, networking and building a reputation to further your career. There's also excellent progression opportunities, both academically and in your professional career, and you can increase your future earning potential. And for those of you joining us that are looking to retrain or start a new career, apprenticeships are a fantastic way to actually retrain in new areas. Additionally, 30% of, there's some additional perks for you as well. So as an apprentice, you get 30% off of travel on London public transport for the duration, for the first year of your apprenticeship. You also get access to student discounts, which will include companies like Amazon, Domino's, and Alton Towers. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the apprenticeship levels and kind of how they're equivalent to, for instance, A-levels and GCSEs. So if you did a level 2 apprenticeship, that will be an equivalent to 5 GCSEs. If you did a level 3 apprenticeship, this will be equivalent to 2 A-levels. A level 4 is equivalent to a certificate of higher education. A level 5 apprenticeship is an equivalent to a diploma of higher education. A level 6 apprenticeship would be an equivalent to a bachelor's degree, and a level 7 would be similar to a postgrad or master's degree. It's important when deciding what apprenticeship you want to do to factor in what you're looking to achieve in the future. So if your plan is to go into university afterwards, perhaps you're looking at a level 3 qualification, so that way you can gain the necessary UCAS points to then progress on to university. But I'd also suggest you also check with universities before doing that to make sure that that's the qualification they're looking for you to transition onto that program. So currently, as you can see on our screen, this is our current apprenticeship offer. And this is split between business and professional sectors and the construction industry. So we offer customer service level 2, business improvement techniques level 2, business administration level 3, operations management level 5, And in the construction engineering industry, we offer railway engineering level 2, property maintenance operative level 2, and gas engineering level 3. Now, with all our courses, they've broken up into certain sections. So you will cover theory at the college, but you'll also have to do a portfolio which will take place in the work. And everyone will also go through what's called an endpoint assessment, which is how you're tested for your final grading in the hopes that, obviously, that you pass. And with all our apprenticeship programs, there's also maths and English functional skills. For those of you that haven't achieved GCSEs or haven't taken GCSEs and passed at grade 4 and above, you can actually retake those as form as functional skills whilst on the program. So now I want to talk a little bit about employment and the employer. So to enroll as an apprentice, you'll need to be employed, and this can happen in a number of ways. So first of all, you can choose your own employment, or you may even be in employment already. And if you're already in employment, it will be a member of the apprenticeship team that can actually start the conversation with your employer so that we can transition you over to an apprenticeship. And you may be looking to do that because you're looking to progress or retrain in a different area within the organisation. As part of my role and my colleagues' role at the college, we also get vacancies from employers which you can then apply for. On a few slides later, I'll be able to show you a link so that you can actually go on the website and look at our current vacancies. As an employed apprentice, you will be given a contract of employment which will cover the full duration of your program. You work for a minimum of 30 hours per week, but this may vary after that point. So you could be doing 35 to 40 hours, but this will all be agreed and put in your contract prior to you starting. You'll also have the same rights and responsibilities as any other member of staff at that college, that employer, which will means you get statutory holiday. If they have pension schemes, you can have access to the pension scheme. If you want access to private healthcare and that's what they offer, you should also be getting that as well. But importantly, they should be giving you tasks that are appropriate for the job role that you're doing, but also to help you progress and become competent in what you're doing. And a part of that is that they'll provide you with a mentor to support you in your training development whilst at the organisation. So now I want to talk a little bit about the pay. So when we have conversations with employers and about starting to recruit for them, we encourage every one of them to pay the national minimum wage, which currently sits at £8.72. However, as you can see from the box on your right, the minimum wage for apprentices is £4.15, and you might find that the wages will be in between that range. A typical wage salary you could be looking at would be somewhere between £5 to £6 an hour to start with, but we do work with some great employers and they have been known to increase salary throughout the programme. So prior to you starting, you'll be informed of whether or not that will be the case and what time periods that will likely be. So now I want to talk a little bit about the recruitment process, but also kind of the next steps in terms of applying. So there's two ways to apply really. You can either go through the college website and apply at the apprentice email address, or you can apply for one of the vacancies that we look after. In both cases, a member of the apprenticeship team will contact you and invite you into one of our weekly apprenticeship recruitment sessions. These typically take place on Thursdays at 1 p.m. at our Wood Street campus, but due to the current situation with COVID-19, we're running these sessions online via Zoom. During these sessions, both whether it's in person or over Zoom, it will give you the chance to meet with the apprenticeship team to discuss the opportunities that we have. We can help determine your eligibility and suitability for certain programs, and also to help you find the job roles that you're looking for. We'll also cover a presentation on apprenticeships as well. As I said earlier, you'd go through some eligibility checks. One of the things we go through is a online maths and English assessment, and this is to help determine what level of maths and English that you might be required to do on the programme. but also to see what support needs you may have. Once that's completed, we have a one-to-one session called an information, advice and guidance session. And this is there to find out what your needs are and to see how we can best support you in your next steps. Now, once we've gone through that apprenticeship session, our next steps is that we would then work with you to try and find you an employer. So what this involved in would be setting up interviews with prospective employers that you've chosen, potentially setting up trial periods so that you can gauge whether or not that's an industry or a particular company you want to work with. And then it's at that stage, once you've had your interviews and you've gone for your trial and you've been selected, that we can then get you your contract of employment in place and then sign you up onto the program so that you can begin training. Now, to help you with this process from when you first apply all the way up until you start the apprenticeship, it'll be one of our apprenticeship team members, including myself, who will help you through that journey. So on the slide here, you've got myself, Sean Murphy, my colleague Nicola Kasapi, and my colleague Stuart Edwards. And you can contact us at any time on 0203 764 4333, or you can email us as well. I just wanted to go through a couple of testimonies from our apprentices, just so you can familiarise yourself of what it may be like for you as a life as an apprentice. So one of our customer service level 2 apprentices has provided the following testimony. My experience at Barnet and Southgate College has been an effective one in terms of rapid response and support I got from the apprenticeship sales team. In a short matter of time, less than a week, I was already booked in for an interview with the help of the team who spent the time with me and had a great communication at all time. They helped me become more confident and gain employment. I'm now going to read the next testimony from one of our level 3 business admin students who previously studied level 2 with us and progressed. So I've been a student at Barnet and Southgate College for a year, and I'm looking forward to studying here. It's a great place to learn with lots of resources and great tutors. The course delivery is great and support provided is extremely helpful. I've really enjoyed my course at the college and I would highly recommend it to others looking to continue their learning. So these were some of the links that I was talking about earlier where you can actually apply for the roles. So on our website, we have an apprenticeship page where you can find out all the information of what I've talked about today, but also for current live vacancies, which you can apply for. Also, we've got the gov.uk website where you can apply for apprenticeships as well. Now, nearly every apprenticeship vacancy will be posted there, where you can make an online application, which is normally picked up either by the provider or by the employer themselves. So in terms of next steps going forward, once you've got an understanding of what apprenticeship you want to do, or you want to inquire about an apprenticeship that you want to do, all you need to do is contact us by either sending us a CV or an application form, at which point we can invite you into one of our recruitment sessions. We'll then discuss with you vacancies that you wish to be put forward for. And at that stage, once we've put you forward for those vacancies and you've attended interviews, it's about waiting to hear back from us and the employer. Now, we're quite proactive and we'll stay in contact with you regularly to make sure that you're kept informed of all the latest progress. But we'd also encourage you to check your emails and answer your phones to private numbers daily, as employers do on occasion like to contact you directly. So it's important that when answering these calls that you try and be as professional as possible, because it could be your future career there. I'd also encourage you to seek employment yourselves. Now, some of you may not feel comfortable doing so. So during that session, we can actually help you out with how to go about seeking employment for yourselves, but we'll also look for you on your behalf, just so that we can increase your chances of finding you somewhere that you really want to work. So thank you for your time today. I can see a few questions coming through, so I'm going to go through them now, but feel free to post more questions as I'm speaking and I'll answer them. So the first question that's come through is, how much has COVID-19 affected the availability of apprenticeships, and how is the college responding to this? Well, there was a short time where roles were quite scarce just because businesses weren't entirely sure what was happening. We're starting to see now they're starting to pick up because they see it as a really good alternative to actually get their business back up and running. But also, it means that they can get additional staff to support any new business for them that comes through. So over the coming weeks and months, you'll see more and more opportunities come through. It's about finding the ways to get access to those and kind of starting that process of engaging with those employers. The next question I got is, will I get an apprenticeship for all levels of building and construction field? Well, this depends. So depending on what subject area you're looking to go into, you may start at a level 2 or a level 3. From there, you can progress on to any other apprenticeship program within the industry that's related to your field. I would say if you've got prior experience or you've got prior qualifications, you may be in a better position to start at a higher level. But again, we need to look at that on an individual basis. An example of that is you may want to start training as a gas engineer and then progress onto project management or site management afterwards. Well, my suggestions would be to start at level 3 gas engineering first. And once you've completed that and you gain necessary skills and competencies in your job role, we can then look at potential programs past that point at a degree level. So the next question I got is GCSEs necessary to apply for an apprenticeship? It's not necessary, no. Like I said earlier, if you haven't got GCSEs or you haven't achieved a 4 grade in GCSEs, there are functional skills, maths and English on the program, which we can enrol you on to support you whilst you're doing your program. Additionally, we do the IAG session where we conduct a maths and English assessment to determine what level you're working at, but also to help us determine what level will be appropriate for you. Now, typically, we'll take students at one level lower than the apprenticeship. So, for instance, if you are looking to do a level 2 customer service and you've got a 3 grade in GCSEs, we can then work with you to actually get your grades back up to the 4 grade or the level 2 functional skills that you need. The next question I have is, what level of support is available for special needs individuals? So all our apprentices have access to our special needs department, who provide support to all our students. Also, we'd encourage the employers to have things in place for you so that they can be supported on the program. You have a tutor and a mentor. So your tutor will be based at the college and a mentor will be based in the workplace. And that's designed to make sure that you're provided all the support you need to be as productive and complete your qualification, but also to improve your skills in the workplace. We also assign a new assessor that comes into the workplace to deliver training as well. So you've always got multiple points of contact who can provide support. And with our ALS department as well, we can conduct sorry, messed up the words there, but we conduct a interview with each student before they start if they've declared that they've got any additional support needs, so we can identify what those needs are and put those support functions in place for you, at which point we will then discuss about if you wanted to inform your employer so that they can also provide that information in the workplace. The next question is, hi, 25 years is the last age to apply for. That used to be the case, but it isn't anymore. So as long as you're over the age of 16, you can start an apprenticeship program. And the great thing is, apprenticeships are funded for all ages. So it's not necessary, that won't be a barrier for you to start an apprenticeship. What I would say is some companies might want someone a little bit younger, but some might want people slightly more mature. The key thing is that when we help you apply for these roles, that you're able to apply for any role that's available. Do you have next question, sorry. Do you have business apprenticeship support related. We do offer business admin apprenticeships. At the moment, we haven't got any vacancies that are related to the school industry, but part of our role would be, if we've got a student such as yourself who's interested in that industry, we can then try and approach companies within that sector to see if they can take on admin apprentices such as yourself. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just a case of working with you to identify what roles that you're looking for that are suitable for what your career progressions will be. So the next question is, if you achieve a level 3 apprenticeship, does that mean you now have a qualification that is equivalent to 2 A-levels? Is this qualification equivalent to A-levels required to apply for university? Yes, so a level 3 apprenticeship is equivalent to 2 A-levels. So is this qualification equivalent to A-levels required to apply for university? The UCAS points will be the same for 2 A-levels. But what I would suggest is, if you want to go to university and you've got an idea of which course or which university you wish to go to, is before enrolling or starting the process of going for an apprenticeship, is to see what their entry requirements are and what UCAS points or what particular qualifications they're looking for you on entry. And then from there, we can then look at the apprenticeships that you're interested to see if they will actually get you the platform to go into university from there. So the next question I have is, do you have a level 3 plumbing apprenticeship, or do you only offer the ones shown earlier? All the apprenticeships that we offer were shown on the slide. Level 3 plumbing isn't one of the apprenticeships we're offering this September. But what we can do is our offer can change throughout the year or from year to year as well. So if that does become available, we can then deliver that program. Does anyone else got any other questions? Feel free to ask any questions you want. Okay, great. If that's all the questions you have, I'd like to thank you for your time. If anyone's got any additional questions, if you took note of the contact details on the slide, feel free to contact us and you can have a chat with us one-to-one if you feel that's more comfortable setting for you. Alternatively, you can contact us through our website as well and ask any questions, or if you want to start the process or anything related to apprenticeships, feel free to get in touch with us. And like I said, I'd like to thank you for your time and for attending today's session, and I wish you all the best of days.